pages untold. The end of another era right in front of you. It unfolds. Behold, the untold roll of fat tide. We all should know. So step up, step up, step up, step up, step up, and break that shit. Do something, man. Anything.
What is going on, guys? Once again, Social Banter Podcast here. And as always, obviously, the one and only, my beautiful wife, Melissa. How are you, baby?
Feeling very weird right now.
Why?
Because you got me wearing these headphones that I never usually wear.
Oh, we got new toys.
I know, but it's just weird.
Well, you know what?
So, hi, guys. I can hear myself.
Yeah, she can
So if I get really loud, I'm sorry. I'll back up.
You won't be able to now because now you can actually hear yourself.
Okay.
I love you, honey. Anyways, what a treat do we have for you guys. But before we get there, as always, we want to thank all our supporters, our fans. Thank you guys so much. Make sure that you keep us on your social medias, as in IG, Instagram, and Facebook. I think we're going to be doing some TikToks. No?
Yes, we'll do a TikTok.
Yeah, I think we're going to start doing some TikToks here and there because I think there has been a few people that have been asking for it. So we're going to give them what they want. But
in order to do that,
yeah, what do they need to do?
I really need you guys to leave us a review. I need you to leave a review on either Apple, anywhere that you listen to us, leave us a review. Screenshot it.
Yes.
And tag us on Facebook.
Yes.
Or IG. I need to see some reviews out there.
Please make sure, even if it's just to say hi, guys. Hey, we're here.
We listened. I don't care what it says.
We are actually the ones managing our social medias. We don't have a management or anything like that. So we are the ones responding back. So, yeah, just stay in contact with in touch with us because we really want to talk to you guys and see what your feedback is. What do you think it would be something good for the future? If you guys have any other interviewees that you guys would like to hear in the podcast or anything like that, that would be amazing. Let us know what you guys would like to see. You guys are helping us out, so the least that we can do to return the favor is to listen to you guys and see what kind of stuff you guys would like to bring into the table as well. So,
and if you're the first person to leave us a review, screenshot it and send it to us on one of our social media spots, maybe you'll get a free shirt. We've got some legendary merchandise that we want to go ahead and give to our fans.
Whoa!
So,
you're dropping a lot of bombs right now.
So leave us a review, and the first one to do it, I'll reach out and make sure you get one of the shirts I have.
Oh man, and they're amazing because Legendary Ltd. They're coming out with some crazy designs, and they're just beautiful. The artists are working for it. Shout out to a legendary crew over there working their asses off to make sure they have nothing but the best art out there in town, in all of Florida, and outside of Florida. I mean, they're all over the freaking place. It's crazy. But we love you guys. Thank you to Legendary Ltd., which is Legendary Apparel. We also have Legendary Tattoos and Legendary Screen Printing. Shout out to Puff out there. Thank you so much, brother. We got some Social Banter Podcast shirts coming out, some merchandise, hats, koozies, stickers. I mean, you name it. We're even wrapping the back of our cars at this point. I mean, we got that on the works as well. So it's going to be amazing. Thank you guys so much. Also, shout out to Raul Sanchez Photography. Raul the Magician, as always, you guys keep, listening to me say it over and over and over. He is amazing when it comes to videography, photography, for anything that you guys need, any event that you have going on, he will get it done. Don't you worry about that. You don't have to let him know about anything. Just tell him what kind of event you have and he'll get the magic. He'll make the magic happen. So shout out to Raul Sanchez Photography as well. Who else do we got? Do you want to say it? Can you actually say it this time?
Nope.
No? You're not going to try it?
I tagged them, but I'm not saying it.
Well, you guys already know congrual.com for all your if you need a business coach, if you need any help with starting up a company,
business mentor,
any kind of mentoring, any type of coaching, any type of financial advisory or anything like that, he'll be able to be there and help you guys with that. And the whole team, they're amazing.
Our guests are fidgeting.
Yes, they're amazing.
And I thought I was the bad one.
I think we're pretty much done, except for obviously the main artist, the artiste, the amazing Danny MacArthur. Thank you again so much for the Social Banter Podcast logo. That was so amazing, and I cannot wait to see that on a shirt, because I'm definitely gonna be the first one to have it. Actually, no, you will. Of course. Of course you will. Anyways, so let's get down to it, guys. Tonight, we have not only one of my amazing brothers,
but another couple.
Exactly.
Another couple is here with us.
One of your best friends as well. One of you girls. And one of my boys. This is amazing. So this is what, three in a row? Are we on a
not
streak
in a
now?
row.
No, okay.
Not in a row.
Damn. I thought we were on a streak
No,
now.
not in a row.
All right. Anyways, so we're in 2 in a row at least.
No.
What was the last one?
Last one was the Robbins. That's a few weeks back.
Yeah, the Robins. They were together.
But
so
I'm saying that's not in a row, though.
Okay.
A row means 1, 2, 3, honey.
Yes, dear. I learned to say yes, dear, after anything gets, like that. Yes, dear. I will say that. Anyways.
Thank you, Jan Duro.
Shout out to the Duros. I learned that from them. Anyways. Brother and sister of mine.
That does not sound right, so don't say that.
It's like
brother is one thing, but when you say it that way, it does not sound honey. Okay, it doesn't sound good, honey.
Sorry.
A brother from another mother.
There you go. So, first of all, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Salute. Thanks for coming in and sitting with us tonight.
Cheers. To another great episode. Cheers.
It's a nice little hump day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Weekday, I'd say.
That's right.
Yep. So,
recording day.
We got Phi and Kathy Vu in his house. How you guys doing today?
Not bad.
Good.
Feeling pretty good.
All right. Well, just so you guys know, you guys are the first ones to be in this new system that we're recording through, which is the Rodecaster Pro.
Mm-hmm.
And
it sounds pretty good.
I mean, it sounds great so far. Holy crap. But
again, why I'm wearing headphones now.
We definitely need a Melissa to get better? Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
No, I hate hearing myself. I've always hated.
We love hearing you.
I don't like hearing myself.
We can hear you just fine. I think it's wonderful.
Anyway, so Phi is a singer-songwriter, and he has done his solo shows as well.
Guitar.
A few.
Yes, and not only that, but what I love about Phi the most is that
you can't say that on
the radio. No. Should we be screening this?
Because he's the Asian persuasion, and he's not even Asian.
Yeah, they say I'm Asian, but
what are you?
I am Asian.
You are?
Yes, Vietnamese.
Wait, but hold on a second. Oh, okay, that's right, because the guys from HD are Philippines. That's the Filipinos.
Yeah, that's the Filipino mafia.
Yeah, those are the gang over there.
Yeah, the cliques I have is quite the eclectic group.
Yeah,
yes, for sure. They're quite interesting, and every time I don't think we ever have a dull moment.
I don't think so. There's always some laughs and a lot of drinking going on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot of smiling and laughing. And we're pretty boisterous and loud.
Exactly,
yeah.
And it's all in good laughing and in good manner and stuff like that. But so you love writing music.
I like I love music. Yep.
Yes.
And writing music is
And you
something I
love
like
playing
to do
it.
as well.
Have you
love playing
done
it.
it your whole life?
I picked it up writing music. I mean, I guess I started writing early on in my teenage years, but nothing writing in terms of like poetry or songs and like that. Just writing basic journals, thoughts, and things like that. But I really didn't delve into it until I got into college.
So where were you born and raised?
I was actually born in Vietnam.
Okay.
I was born in Hue, Vietnam, and then the war happened, and it all fell apart. And we were actually refugees. I'm a refugee, actually.
Oh, wow.
So you can call me a true refugee. I'm not even a first generation Vietnamese person here. I speak really good
Holy
English.
shit.
However,
Wow.
I'm an immigrant. A complete
Fucking
immigrant.
cheers.
So
dude.
when did you come here?
Came here 1972, way back when, of course.
Wow.
Man, I'm really giving my age out here.
Wait, what?
74, Kathy says, 1974.
You were born
75.
in 72.
I was born in 72. Excuse me. Forget. There's a period of time when I was young. Brought us over on.
Just mind
the
you
story
guys.
is
Mind
very-
you guys. I wish you guys could see him because he looks like 20 years younger than I do.
Can I just say he gets carded everywhere we go?
Yes,
Yes.
And then I come into the picture and they say, "Oh, never mind."
I think it's the hat thing. I'm always wearing a.
No, bullshit,
So, and a
bro.
quick-
Right now.
A quick congratulations to the two of you because just a few
Yeah.
months
Thank
ago,
you.
you
Shout out.
got married.
Yes, newlyweds.
Yes, thank
And during this COVID infested time, yeah, it was
For sure.
A
was
beautiful
crazy.
wedding on the beach.
Oh my
And
God.
you guys helped us,
Yes.
put it
It
together.
was the timing, the weather, and everything was just right on point.
It was
Right on point. The lighting of the way the sun was hitting the ocean to the way it was hitting
Right,
on Kathy's dress, the whole 9 yards. It was just phenomenal. And not only that, but tell them who married you guys.
Yeah, it could have been a better.
My
situation.
daughter married. Yeah, my oldest daughter married us.
What's
Yeah.
her name?
Taylor?
Taylor. Shout out to Taylor.
But the
Tell
best
her
thing
what
about
she did to get
And who was
So she became ordained because she's like,
Yep.
you know what, I would like to marry you, and we're like, okay, cool, sounds good. So she went through and she got ordained and she got her certification and she prepared the whole ceremony herself. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
and the
all
best
in 2 weeks. Yeah.
and the best thing about that whole thing was watching each girl kiss Phi's ring before you put it on his
Oh
finger.
yeah, they were
Which-
bringing it forward.
That part is when the tears hit me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I teared up.
Yeah, I'm so glad I wasn't bawling of her myself.
No, but it was what was the name of that beach called? I'm sorry. It's,
Dunedin
Honeymoon
Honeymoon
Island.
Honeymoon
Honeymoon
Island.
Island. Yes, in Dunedin, Florida.
And thank
It
you, by
was-
the way, Melissa, for being the videographer there,
Oh,
so that all of our family
so
could be on
welcome.
the
Danny with the
little
pictures.
Yes,
She
thank
had one
you.
beautiful picture
thing,
that
so all of
was.
our
you, thank
families
you.
from
It's a
afar
great
could
shot.
witness it. That
Yep.
was pretty cool.
And we had
Most definitely.
Ton with the drone shots.
Yeah, that was pretty-
Ton
pretty
did
fat.
some cool. Shout out to Ton Tran and to T as well. Over there at what's the name of Essentials Medicine?
chiropractic
Yeah,
practice, medicine. Yep.
they're actually the primary chiropractors for the NFL team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which are going to the Super Bowl.
Tom works with them.
Dude,
yeah.
we're going to the fucking Super Bowl.
And we're going to the
bro.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
How do
But
you
by
feel
the
about
time
that?
this airs,
Come on.
by the time this
Sorry for my
airs,
Bills friends,
Right,
but
right.
man, I mean, it's unbelievable, right?
Yes.
we
yes.
might already know who the winner is.
Oh yeah, that's true. By the time this episode airs, we're gonna already know the
Results.
results. So, yes, I'm
Let's just
sorry.
cross our fingers,
Damn.
and you know what? Tom's on a. It's always that hot streak. So, but a tough team, Kansas City
Oh,
is going to
for
be great.
sure,
Man,
for
it's
sure.
just going to be a great game.
Yep.
For sure.
But I heard they had some people hurt on their team, so I think we may have a one up on. And then Monday, no one's going to be working. I'm sure.
No, definitely not. I'm
There's
gonna
I
so
try
am.
to take
much
a
easy
You
shit.
are.
traffic.
I am.
Yeah,
You are.
Yeah.
I have to work, so yeah, we're all going to try to work. We'll see
Yeah.
what
Yeah, for
happens.
sure.
Yeah.
So back to some music.
Sure.
So You said you didn't start writing until later on.
Yeah.
What about playing guitar?
Playing
Because
guitar,
I know you do this.
Yeah, I asked for a guitar when I was like 12, and my old man gave me a guitar. It was a little acoustic guitar he got from a friend, and I asked him, maybe some basic chords. Back then, I picked it up. I tried to play, and if anyone knows about playing the guitar, and as a beginner, even with smaller hands and being younger, that is so tough to get your fingers on the right positions, and just the dexterity that you have to have sometimes, and it's a lot of practice. So I gave it up about 2 weeks into it. He shows me a couple chords, but he never really taught me how to. He never really pushed
the actual fundamentals of
right,
it. Yeah,
fundamentals.
Yeah.
And then
Gotcha.
I never used it, and he gave it away after about a month or two. Didn't see it again, and then I asked for another one when I was 16. I'm like, you sure that or a leather jacket? I'm like, no, I want the guitar. The leather jackets were in, and they were hot, but I was like, give me a guitar. And I actually wanted an electric guitar, but they got me an acoustic and recommended me playing this first to get better at it. And so that's when I started when I was 16 and self-taught. 17 actually, yeah, self-taught, and I really couldn't, teach myself for a long time.
And when did you come over here
to Florida?
Yeah,
in 2000.
So when did you originally came over here?
Yeah,
Where did
to
you
the
come
US.
from?
Sorry.
So yeah, in Vietnam we left in 1975. We were kind of separated. I was out in Hawaii for a couple years.
Oh wow! Okay.
We ended up meeting.
That's badass, brah.
Yeah, an adventure for the first year or 6 months. It was just crazy. My grandmother and my mom and my siblings were together. My father, we were separated, so he had left us out to go on a boat to get to safety in Guam. Basically, is where we were going, or the Philippines, and then they flew us over to Guam, I guess. And we stayed in Hawaii for about a year. Then we had to be transported to Pennsylvania to get our papers, documents. We got sponsored from a family in Nebraska.
Wow.
Nice.
To take us on to
Very
help
nice.
us get acclimated.
Yeah.
Learn about the culture, to learn how to farm, I guess. And we met our dad in that particular place in Pennsylvania. They're giving our shots. That was my earliest memory, to be honest, of that whole experience of just coming here, because it was the smallpox shot. And now I'm going to show you.
Oh,
this.
and you still have, you can
I'll
see
show
the
you
scar.
This is the scar. Is tiny when you're young, but look how much it grew. Right?
Oh yeah, that's insane.
And that's a smallpox.
yeah.
That's a smallpox shot.
See, and I never got
That's
one. You never got
crazy.
one.
I didn't
Right,
know that,
so
bro.
you can tell, I'm marked and like, oh yeah, I just got some little guy.
Yeah.
But it had a
Smallpox shot.
I got
It
shot.
couldn't have been that many
It looks like a
years
gunshot
It looks
wound.
like
It
a
almost
cigar
looks like
burn.
a
that they
like,
stopped doing that.
yeah.
They did.
No, my sisters had them, and
Right?
they're 4 and 7 years older than I am.
Yeah.
Now, just so you guys know, Kathy, can you tell our listeners what you actually do for a living?
I'm a nurse.
Really?
She used to do, yeah.
Okay, so when it comes down to it,
the
yeah,
ICUs and
she's a
take care
I'm
of.
a nurse in a primary care physician's office now. I used to work in the ICU, but now I'm in a primary care physician's office.
okay. So she is very aware of a lot of medical stuff. So if we
Probably one of
have,
the smartest people I know in the medical field.
oh
in
yeah,
terms of-
it's ridiculous.
yeah, a
It's
little
ridiculous.
biased, but no,
Yeah.
the stuff that she talks about.
No, it's been ridiculous.
doctors loves
Like,
her, so I can tell that.
She'll start talking to Melissa about some medical shit, and like 2 words, she'll say 2 words, and I'm completely
Right,
already,
right
I'm
away.
already
That's wild,
lost.
bro. I mean-
I'm
And I
already
love it.
lost.
I love
Yeah.
it.
But you're also watching every single nurse and hospital show out there.
Hey,
The
and our
med
daughter
lady.
wants to go towards
Yes,
that way.
yes, for sure.
She's doing all the healthcare stuff that
Hell
she
yeah.
can, and
Sure.
And helping
even
her
Christopher,
out.
he wants to look at being a paramedic firefighter.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
That's what
For sure.
one of the girls is.
I was an
Amber will graduate
EMT for-
in
Yeah.
October with her RN.
You were?
Yeah, I did EMT work in North Carolina after college. I went
No
to
shit.
Wilmington.
Where did you go to
live.
college?
Iowa State
Okay.
University.
For what?
Did psychology first, and they they did a placement and put me in engineering. I'm like, what?
That's a big jump.
As an Asian,
Wow.
I'm not that
I was going to
great.
say, I'm sorry, I can't
You gotta
I
be-
can't see Fee working with his hands and doing numbers.
That
and,
almost
Oh
sounds
my
racist
God.
that they did that.
Yeah, you would think. But my schooling in high school was amateur.
Just kidding, just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's okay because it's a stereotype. You know, not all Asians are good at math.
Yeah,
Believe me,
exactly.
you know, they're not as you would imagine. But the studious ones are. They're just crazy. You know, dedicated to studies. But no, I'm my high school education. I think we got to like a algebra 2 level at the most for our seniors. So it was never calculus and what have you. But whatever, they did a placement test, and I figured I'd start with algebra right in college and get into my curriculum that I really wanted to get into.
Yeah, for sure.
Which was psychology at first. And then they put that placement test and said, no, engineering. I'm like, what? Engineering. You know, halfway through like a month, it was like it threw me into some calculus 2 class. I have parabola. What the hell is a parabola? Is it like some sort of snake or something? You know, something crazy.
I've heard
like
of
that.
those. Aren't they
Right.
like pythons or some shit like
Yeah,
that?
so,
Python.
so lo and behold, I flunked out of that program.
Thanks.
So that was pretty adventurous. So I was like,
That's
let me
hilarious.
delve into something that I think I'd be more apt at, which was business, and got into English and creative writing. Through some friends to say, hey, you got to get into something different. I figured I liked writing, got into English, so I minored in English, and I got a degree in general business, entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneur. Okay.
That's awesome.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Right. Didn't really pan out after college. Of course.
Okay, so let me stop you right here.
Yeah, we'll get into that
I need to find out where Mr. Miyagi comes out.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yes, I need to find out
You
where
can wax on, wax off
Yeah.
on your own time.
Because so you guys know out there the reason why I have a kayak and the reason why I got into fishing so much is because
He wants to learn how
Phi
to fish.
has a way in the ocean that
Love the
it's
ocean.
that it's unhuman like when it comes to fishing, catching any type of fish. This guy is just unbelievable. And literally, we have all seen it where this guy would be in our group, we'll be kayaking alongside of us as a group. All of a sudden, Phi disappears and comes back, and he already caught like 3 fish. I'm like, bro, how? And he always knows when to go out, where to go out, the spots.
So where did your love of
everything.
fishing come into play also with
how
your
did,
music?
How did you start that whole thing?
Music, I was really into music way back when I was younger. Always singing, actually, like, we only had, back then, like AM radio, so I would listen to country music.
That's
Gotcha.
showing your age. Just
AM radio country. Wow.
Wow, right. So
or
I
the
started
fact that
with
you were in
country.
Iowa. I'm not quite sure which.
Did you meet
Pure-
any of the
pure
guys from
Midwestern boy,
Slipknot?
believe me.
Did you see any of the guys from Slipknot while you were in Iowa?
Slipknot?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I
don't
think
know
I
what
ran
part of
into
Iowa they're
311
from, but, yeah.
is probably like the Midwestern and like maybe Smashing Pumpkins.
Ooh.
Gotcha.
Chicago.
Okay.
What was that,
so I
Billy
was-
Corbin?
Billy Corbin.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got interested in music at that age, and it just fell into listening with my neighbor. She loved Led Zeppelin, so when I started playing, she showed me some Led Zeppelin tapes. And man, that was like when I was 14, 15, and I had like one friend who was really into music, and he came from a different high school. He actually came from a high school that was a city maybe a couple miles away. He was different, wild, big hair, big Indian, half Mexican looking dude, and just wild and crazy. He said this craziest stuff, and he was just crazy. And I loved him just because he was so original and just out there. He didn't give a fuck who said anything about his style. There's the cliques in high schools.
Oh, yeah.
Bill. His name is Bill Barbie. He's pretty crazy.
Bill Barbie.
Bill Barbie. Isn't that a name? Bill Barbie. William Barbie. His dad was like a PI. And man, the stories I could tell about him and I.
That sounds like a reality show PI type shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is Bill Barbie.
Yeah.
This is Bill
Going
Barbie.
into the action.
And the stuff he would say is this was so left field that it would make you, if you would understand his humor, you would just laugh your ass off. And I also had a friend, Chad Botker, back then, who's into his keyboards.
What was that?
Chad Botker. There's some names that, yeah.
What incarnation, bro? Like, you have, yeah.
I
mean, I can't talk too much because my last name is no better. I mean, no, my second last name
his real last name.
It's crazy, but it's.
What do you have, multiple last names?
Yes.
Like
Well, they're hyphenated. You know,
Right.
Puerto Rican last names are hyphenated. So my two last names are Cruz, Santi Esteban.
Santi Esteban. Wow. Right. I've known that. I've known people that have like 4 last names are all hyphenated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there Latino? There's a heritage to that or something. So
The maiden name to the married
Yeah,
name
sure.
to the father's name to,
yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Number one, what are some of your influences when it comes to music? And number 2,
Back to the fishing. How did you get into
yeah, how did you get into the actual fishing?
Let's do the fishing first, so I'm sure that can finish up early.
Because
that, and then
it's
get into
it's
the
all
music,
up.
'cause all
It
kinda
ties
trickles in.
Yeah, it ties into the
It
music.
ties
so.
in. Well, I grew up next to a lake, and we would always fish with my neighbor and our friends around the neighborhood. We'd go out to our lake, and that's all we had. This was in South Dakota, Podunk, South Dakota. We're talking in a community of like 200 people in a square, I'm not sure, like a 5 mile square radius, maybe 200 to 300 people in a small community. And our neighbors, she's really nice, Mrs. Rice, God bless her soul. She let us the kids, we were as kids, the most rambunctious kids in the neighborhood. We'd be destroying dirt piles with our dirt bikes because they'd something for their yard, and we'd be
You were
running
one of
it
those
over.
young whippersnappers.
Oh
huh?
my God! We're just having apple fights in the street. An apple tree right next to our
Wait,
yard.
wait. Apple fights?
Apple fights. We'd have a kid coming down.
You
the
actually
road.
launch apple at people?
People. Yeah, we were pretty mean kids. It was pretty obnoxious. We were so
They were in
bored.
Iowa.
We're in Iowa. Iowa. We're South Dakota.
Oh, South Dakota.
We're
Okay,
right in
sorry.
the middle. I was right in the middle of the trifecta: Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota. So that region, we had a lot of hellions. Pent up kids doing absolutely nothing because it was cold most of the year. 9 months, you're inside, wanting to get out and get your energy out. But I learned music from Bill. And I had a friend from Denmark too, who was a foreign exchange student. He came down and he showed me new music like U2. I'd never heard of them besides the.
What were you
classic
already
rock.
listening to?
At that point, I was listening to hair metal bands. Guns N' Roses, Faster Pussycat, Cinderella.
Poison. Rat.
Def
All
Leppard.
right.
Yeah. But yeah, Guns N' Roses really had an impact after Led Zeppelin. AC/DC for sure. I had an older friend that I used to work out and do martial arts with back then. He was 26, and AC/DC was his thing. So really dabbling in AC/DC and drinking Jack Daniels and Coke with him.
Hell yeah, nice.
My first experiences of getting drunk, driving home, or riding home on my bike, just swaying over the road. Getting home at age 16 from his place after a taekwondo practice or something. That was pretty outrageous. So
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, but he showed me that. He was so crazy when he was drunk and just blaring that stuff. I'm like, I can see why you like this music. It was just,
it makes sense now. Shit.
But I got into that, but more into some crazier new wave stuff in from Dennis Lauritzen from Denmark.
Wow, you really got some names here.
Yeah, and he had already graduated, basically. He wanted to come to visit the States. And
That's
he
3
got
for
him stuck.
3 fucking weird ass names, huh? Shout out to
Bill
all of
Barbie.
them, but holy
Shout out to
shit,
Bill Barbie.
I would never be able to say that
Right.
shit. Go ahead.
Chris Botker, and Dennis Lowritz.
Hey, shout out to
We
you
had
guys. Holy
a great time.
shit.
I could name all my friends from high school. We had
Of
a good
course.
time. Causing chaos in Little Podunk, Sioux City, Iowa. We had gang fights there. It's so crazy.
Gang fights?
Yeah.
What kind of gangs?
200 people population.
Yeah. Or not
Are you
200.
serious?
Actually, it's about 100,000, I was supposed now.
So it's like as big as Flint,
It was
Michigan.
small to me. I
So
mean,
it's
now
as
that
big
I'm
as Flint,
living here in
Michigan.
Tampa, it's so...
It's as big as Flint, Michigan, which is
It's around,
Flint,
I'm not sure if it's
Flint,
around
Michigan.
there.
It's
about
100,000.
That's a crazy.
That's a
city.
population,
That
and
is a
it's
crazy
and
city.
it's murder town. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy over
Because
there.
you take all the industry out of that town, and man, I feel so bad for Flint, Michigan, just because
Oh,
the
I do
industry
too.
came in, had all these jobs, these people were making
Yeah.
money, and they just took it right underneath them. And what are these people going to do?
Exactly.
They don't know how to uproot.
And the
somewhere
water,
else.
the water
So I feel
issue
for
that they had,
and the water issue, all
yeah,
the fracking, and
all that shit going on
all
over
that.
there, all that, and
that's the lawmakers.
thankfully
they
they
have
have had some good bands come out of there, like King 810, one of my favorite metal bands has come out of there, and they have had some good jazz and blues come out of there.
I
as
tell you
well.
what, music in the Midwest
Yeah.
is phenomenal. It's because there's nothing to do for 9 months out of the year. You can't really go outside and do things. So you get together with your friends, and of course you're always getting fucked up on something.
Oh yeah,
But music was part of it. And most of it was angry music to start with. Kids being, into Metallica was a big thing.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, Metallica, come on.
fuck yeah,
Did you have any formal training, or this is all just
For what? Formal training for
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 music.
music,
No, I studied
everything's
music.
by ear?
guitar,
study
vocal,
music.
anything.
Yeah, I couldn't really study music. I really can't read music.
Yeah.
I tried when I was in like 5th grade. My teacher tried to teach me. I played trumpet, clarinet, oboe. I really wanted to play the sax.
But it's
Me
all
and
by ear.
Chris, me
Yeah.
and Chris Robbins were talking about that.
Yeah.
Like, I really wanted to play the sax because it was just like there's something about that
I
instrument.
think he meant Chris and Derek.
Chris and Derek, yeah.
Derek, yeah.
Shout out to Derek Robbins and Chris
Wow.
Chris
Darrow,
and
yeah.
Derek.
I gotta
You
cut
said
out the
Chris
booze,
Robbins.
The whole 9 yards. We've got a 3-party ahead of time, and wow! Did I just completely I put those two together? It's
It's all good. It's all
All
good.
those two, believe me.
Exactly.
Your introductions of your two friends.
No, it's all good.
Chris
It
and
should
Derek are
happen.
amazing.
Trust me.
I'm sorry. Well, we're talking to Derek, and Derek loves that saxophone. I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
actually, I believe this is from that era, the 80s, when we
Yep.
just whatever. It was what's his name? Who was playing that sax on that movie? And that was probably the same movie that got us both into sax. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I love.
Which one?
I forget it. Yeah, you come on, help me out. You guys may know.
What are you talking about?
Talking
It's
about
from
all these
your era.
references that people may or may not know because it's
Well, it's from
so
you
long
guys'
ago.
era. I don't know that era.
Yeah, right.
So-
Yeah,
We're so old.
I'm too young for that.
Oh, shut up.
Reminders.
But I was taught like basic music, so I learned how to play, yell the notes,
Right.
and whatnot. Because from like a trumpet instrument, there's no minors.
Yeah.
You play single notes, just like your clarinet and flute and what have you.
Yeah.
So I learned how to play, and it's so damn hard to play with your mouth.
Like as in, what? Like as in,
What can I
as in,
say?
as in
And
a
that's
wind,
what he said.
as in a wind instrument, as in a wind instrument.
Wind instruments, wood instruments.
No,
There we go. We're into
wind,
this.
wind
yes.
instrument, as in
Windward
the ones that you have.
instruments, yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
Right, I got you, brother. I got you.
So, is that what you're trying to
Oh,
say?
this has
It's
turned interesting.
Whoa.
that's hilarious. No, but I understand what you're saying. So,
Have you
it's
ever
hard.
played your musician?
You know what? I actually tried playing trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
I could not
Blow. I
That's
just,
what she said.
I just came out.
Thank you.
that's what he
Thank
said.
you.
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I could not do it, and shout out as well to all the sax players out there, because I know some of the best in town, like Mike MacArthur, definitely my number one favorite. I got Mike Jubilisco, Jibby, my boy Jibby, his amazing sax player, and you got Ronnie D as well in Clearwater. from Ronnie D and the Superstars. I think
I've heard of him.
Yeah. They're amazing, and Mike MacArthur has been, trumpet wise is Carl Fisher, which is Mike MacArthur actually introduced me to Carl Fisher once. Shout out to them.
Sure.
And Carl Fisher actually plays for Elton John.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
For Elton John, he's played for I think Billy Joel as well.
So
That's
funny.
A hell of a pianist.
It's funny talking to a lot of the musicians that we've already talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is basically self-taught or by ear.
Yeah, most
or
of them.
have only had a little bit of training, maybe through school or whatnot. So it's interesting to see, because I've got no musical bone in my body. None.
Well, let me interject because, Kathy and I have talked about that, how she knows how to play music, but she has to have sheet music. And
I can read music, and I was taught how to read music. I used to play clarinet.
I see. I didn't know that. Okay.
And I used to do lead clarinet and all this, but I can read it. Well, years ago I could have read it. Now I can't. I couldn't say that, but now, but I could never improvise and just go to town with my ear. So I think it's very different taught versus.
Absolutely.
It's self-taught versus literature taught. I can say, and personally, I think self-taught may be a little bit more, way more creative because you can hear it and you can just expand on it rather than just doing somebody else's. And it's like a cover,
For sure,
cover versus
original.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I started self-taught, and then I went through private professional,
I
classes.
Wish I would have done that, to be honest.
Yeah, but I've always beaten myself because I quit doing that, and because obviously I was young and dumb.
Right.
And I was like, well, I already know what I need
to
to know.
Right.
I already know what I want to know and what I need to know. And I feel like
I'll figure out the rest later, right?
I feel like at the speed that I am. And then I quit for 4 years. And then that's when,
Quit playing music completely for 4 years?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
didn't touch a thing? Didn't touch
nope.
percussions?
No,
wow.
not at all.
What made you do that? Was it just a period of time that you were...
My mom passing away. It put me...
Well, that would explain it, yeah.
Yeah, it put me in a rough spot. Coming up to it and going through it.
Sure.
So it was a total of about 4 years that I stopped. And it was another band called Profecía, which is prophecy in Spanish.
Sure.
That I'm sure I mentioned them in
Wouldn't prophecy be in English?
Prophecy.
Prophecy would be.
Profecía
is
prophecy.
Spanish part.
Yeah, prophecia is prophecy, right? In Spanish.
Prophecy in Spanish. That's what I said. Right. Anyways, so
you were back.
I said it in our very first episode, which it was our episode.
Your episode.
Or my episode.
Your introduction.
The introduction episode.
The main one. The pilot.
You're here to stay. Motherfucker.
So, yeah, we definitely, that's where I went to. But anyways.
Fishing. Bring us into the fishing, because you said the music and the fishing comes kind of together. So why? How?
Well, the fishing, so I love fishing. We all fished on this dock and grew into learning how to bass fish. Me, my brother, and all of our friends. I got all my friends into basically fishing, so we would do that a lot. That really didn't have much of a musical influence other than just being out there and having that quietness. That's something that I think a lot of people are missing in their life, to be honest.
That's your Zen place here. I mean, that's
Zen.
That's your
It's your
therapy.
time. It's your own time.
Therapy.
It is. It's like, you don't have to think much other than just absorb the nature and the feeling of the wind and just the sun in your face. Sometimes it's amazing. To me, I love the outdoors, and I love the outdoors.
Oh yes, you do.
But I hate the bugs.
No, you
But it's funny. I hate the outdoors, but I hate most everything else about it.
Okay. So I asked you the question.
So I'm not much of a hunter, believe me. I'm a fisherman. I like the water. I'm a surfer.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Kathy, can you come in real quick?
Yes.
How is Phi really when it comes to kayaking and fishing? Can you please tell him? Because he's saying it one way, and
Quite intense.
you
Okay, well,
definitely
let
explain
me
it
just say-
differently. Because he is Mr. Miyagi. He studies and
Yes,
everything,
and
the whole
when
9 yards.
he needs his time on the water, he needs his time on the water. And it is now February, and it's been through the winter months. Yes, we're in Florida, but we still have winter months. And we haven't had good weather for fishing and kayaking since probably October. He needs to be out in that water because that's his zen, and that's his relaxation, and that's his space to think and things. So he needs that. But definitely when he needs to go, I'm like, okay, yeah, I love to be out on the water. I love to go. But when he has that time, he needs to be out.
'Cause you have a
in the
paddle
morning,
board.
and he has,
And you have your,
I
you
have my
also
paddle
have,
board, yes.
yeah, and you also have your own
I have the
kayak.
Yes. So I determine which one I go on.
Exactly.
On how long we're going to be out there and
Exactly.
how long it's been since he's been out on the water. And that's when we determine, okay, I think I need to go on the kayak because we're going to be out there a little bit longer. Or
Gotcha.
the cold, or yeah. Oh yeah. So I determine which one I want to go out on.
And you guys travel everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaking everywhere. It doesn't matter. Because you do
Florida
a lot of
is-
tournaments.
Yeah, I did a lot of
Fishing tournaments.
But I can't
kayak
do the
fishing
tournaments.
tournaments.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You can. You just have to
I
sign up
can't
for
be a
it.
part of it.
But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very competitive, and the guys that I fish with are very competitive, and I like it because when I was fishing, I was catching these fish. It's great to go out there, and for me, it was nice to finally figure out how to catch fish here. It was different, completely from bass fishing to from freshwater to saltwater is completely different.
I bet.
So I had to relearn because I learned from shore for a while. I'm like, whatever, I need a boat, but then kayaks
then you
started
feel
coming
it.
out, and I just fell in love with a kayak. And then I bought this cheaper brand kayak to sit in it, but I competed in it, and I started winning big fish here, big fish there, and so I started falling in love with just competing. And I'm a competitive person, so I always did competition
Yeah, for
back
sure.
then.
Gotcha.
Sports in school, and then in college and all that. And music really, I was so fond of music. I have like I told you earlier, way too many hobbies, and I wish I could just concentrate on one.
Oh, don't. My husband has way too many.
Yeah.
hobbies,
No,
too.
I do
Him and I
not.
are-
No, I do
are,
not. I don't have
It's
that
a
many.
positive for that. I think men love to have hobbies.
I
They
love
wanna
you
just
both.
live those.
And we
I
like
love you
toys.
dearly.
We
Yeah,
like
yes.
toys. We
You
like
can't.
toys.
I know.
You never know
got
what they're doing.
Frisbee, disc
Disc golf,
Disc golf.
fishing, all the music
And
stuff.
guns.
Because
That's
it's
it.
all
And
hobbies.
guns.
I'm
That's
sorry.
it.
I love you, but it's all hobbies.
Music, though.
Music
me
makes
be-
money. That's not a hobby.
No. But back in the day, like you all, with music, I'm sure as kids and teenagers, music always gave you a sense of worth, and it was always like this dreamy thing. Sometimes you're listening to, and it's always very moving to you. Back
Yes,
then, right?
yes,
Emotionally, your hormones are going.
Exactly.
I always had a very excited feeling about music. I'd come in one time where I was at basketball practice, and I didn't know my coach was just getting out of the shower. Back then you could coach from your shower. This is the best thing. This is a story that people are like, oh,
That is kind of
did
weird,
that.
bro.
Back in the day, we didn't care. We were just kids. We didn't
Right.
care. This is in junior high where we are, bathing, and bathing was like, hey, we're bathing. We're just men bathing, males out and whatnot. So it was no big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, he was drying himself off, and all the kids were getting ready for practice. And he
Would you like another beer, bud?
Sure.
All right.
He was getting ready for practice, and I come screaming in there. Didn't know he was there. And at the time, I started getting into Motley Crue.
Oh shit!
And guess what song I was screaming when I walked in there? Back in
Girls, girls, girls.
that was a good one, but it was like "Shout at the Devil,"
Oh,
shout, shout! I was screaming that "Shout at the Devil," going crazy. And he looks at me like,
That's hilarious.
"The hell are you doing, Vu?" And
That's what they called you back then. It was Vu. Just straight Vu?
he did then. I
Yeah.
was like, what the? My friends are going,
What in tarnation?
yeah, they all thought I was retarded, you know, but I was coming to their
You were
screaming,
just jamming out.
jamming out, man. I was just heard it on the way there, and this is when I was like in 6th grade.
Have you ever seen Motley Crue live?
I have.
You have? I have too. They're amazing, dude. They're awesome.
Sioux City, Iowa had a lot of shows that a lot of big people back then with these bands, they came in and they really loved the area. I met like...
Thank you, baby. Shout out to Melissa. She is also bartending
She's
tonight.
bartending. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you.
We're putting the beers inside of the koozie. But go ahead.
Man, when I was talking about Sioux City, Iowa and having the music there, what really got me into music too was going to see local shows, you know, in Sioux City, Iowa, at these bars that we could get into at. I was 16. I don't know how I got into them, to be quite honest. I don't know how I got into them because I was sneaking in with, and I used to wear a trench coat all the time. Ever you could sneak in so much shit,
like an Inspector Gadget type trench coat.
Oh, I had like multiple trench coats. You know, it was
What?
Like fashion.
Oh
yeah.
my God, listen,
I was
we're
a trench
old,
coat.
okay?
I was a trench coat fiend, and you could put
Nice.
your headphones. Remember
It doesn't
the
matter, that's so
Walkmans?
funny.
And
Trench
Walkmans?
So,
coats.
like,
Come on.
wait.
I wasn't flashing anybody. It was cold as
I was
hell.
just gonna ask.
This is Iowa and South Dakota, and it's half the
thought he
year.
was
It's
cool.
like 40 below.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So what was I talking about? Going to see the
Yeah.
bands play, right?
Yes, to see a band play.
So, you know, Bill Barbie, you know, got me into this
Here he
thing.
does again.
Yeah, my friend Bill
Bill Barbie.
But I
Double
used
B.
to go there by myself and my brother. My brother was into like some really outrageous punk and stuff that I wasn't into until later, after he kind of showed me the stuff that he liked. But him and his best friend were skaters. And he skated around. They acted all, you know, the baggy pants. And, of course, you know, people at school were all thinking, what are these losers doing, right? You know, acting all stupid and crazy and skateboarding. What's skateboarding about?
What are you skateboarding over here?
Right. But they were listening to, like, Black Flag, The Misfits. Things
Oh,
that people
man,
were not,
Black Flag.
Right,
I
there
used
were
to
people-
love that band.
Exactly. The Misfits.
Yeah.
Fugazi. They got me into
Oh,
Fugazi.
yeah.
My favorite
No
band.
effects.
I shit you not, it's Fugazi. It has to be Fugazi.
Really?
I love Fugazi. You put any Fugazi album on, I fucking love it. Fugazi is one of my favorite bands that are, you don't ever hear Fugazi other than musicians
never
that
heard
know
of
them.
That's
You've never heard of
amazing.
Fugazi? My fucking God, I've got to get you that album. 13 songs. You've never heard of them?
No, I have.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
haven't.
have. I
Abby
definitely have.
hasn't.
She
Bulldog
has.
Front.
The girls
we got
have it,
Waiting
yeah.
Room.
They don't know about
I
that
am a
live. They don't know about
patient
that.
boy.
Yeah, they don't know about that skater live.
My time like water down the drain.
There you go.
Everybody move it. Everybody move it. Everybody move it, move it, move it,
Yeah,
move it.
they're pretty good. They're pretty.
Come
fucking
on,
good.
that's...
Yeah.
if that didn't make you jump...
It's
come
a
on.
classic. It's definitely a
I
classic.
used to see them. I saw Henry Rollins.
Oh, now Henry Rollins. I
Okay,
know
you
Henry
know Henry
Rollins.
Rollins. Black
Oh,
Flag.
yes.
Henry Rollins, Black Flag. So
Black
these
Flag.
kids, my younger brother, he was like 2 years younger. He was into that. I was into that, you know, the more the heavy metal hair bands. But really, I like Def Leppard. I thought they had really good albums.
I love Def.
And no matter if it's, you know, it's cheesy, they got a little poppy, but back in the day with High and Dry, first albums, I'm like, these guys fucking are good. They're fucking good. You know, the country music, of course, FM came into play. I was listening to other rock and roll. You heard Journey and all these other bands that are out there. I couldn't really get into them. So after listening to like Guns N' Roses, fuck yeah, phenomenal. Come on, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, of
You know,
course. We've
Mine
had a few
Michelle
people that
and-
have come through the podcast already, and they have been huge Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses has been
so
a huge influence.
influential.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I used to lift weights, but Led Zeppelin was my go-to music for
Really?
lifting weights. Yeah, like
What
Black
was your
Dog,
favorite album?
Black Dog. My favorite album is probably number 4.
Okay.
And Led Zeppelin, House of the Holy. It was one of my favorites.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's badass.
But like, you know, Black Dog. One of the first songs I heard, boom, 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 boom. It's just that start. What is this? And then that's that vocal. Hey, mama, with the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. I mean, that just pumped you. If that would not pump you up, you go fucking pump some weights or something. That's all I was like, hell yeah.
So now, what kind of music do you write? What's your genre? What's your sound?
Oh my God. And now, it's my sound or my love of music has grown throughout the years. So every year is different. I'll listen to that. Then I got into college. I was still into that. Most people were into the same stuff I was listening to, but I had some stoner friends that lived next to me in my dorm room my first year in college. And they're from Sioux City, Iowa, which I lived right next to. I lived in North Sioux City, Iowa. So we had this city. I worked in Sioux City, Iowa. Met some friends there. They were not into music whatsoever. So like I bought my first guitar. Not at all. No one was really into music.
What the fuck? What do you do over there if you're not into music? What the fuck?
They were farmers.
I'm sorry.
Farmers,
that's why you have country music. That's where the country music comes from, right? Farmers?
But most of the people I knew were just into smoking.
I'm sorry.
Bad
I'm not trying
weed.
to
They were
say anything
smoking,
bad.
into getting drunk.
Yeah.
And just, fucking each other. It was just stupid.
Well, damn. That escalated quickly.
Sorry, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
I'm being
Yes,
very candid.
yes.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. No, you're straight. We're raw here, man. We're raw. We're raw.
And that was just high school for me, just seeing all that whole mess and seeing all the cliques and the other bigger high schools. Cause I went to a high school that had a graduating class of, no shit, 45 people.
What?
Yeah. Tiny. So
yours was like,
remember breakdancing? We used to breakdance at these high school dances.
Get the
What? For me, my brother, my best
Were you a
friend.
B-boy?
I was a B-boy, yeah.
No shit.
Parachute pants, fucking
parachute
pants. Oh, people used to like, some of these chicks,
yeah.
it was just like, what do you wear those things? All you hear is down the hallway. I'm like, these are fucking cool. Look at the zippers on that.
I bet you used to get a lot of girls though.
No, I think the girls thought I was so weird. I'm
What?
Like, what is wrong with
serious?
you? Why do you like hip hop? Yeah, these girls are, country girls. I'm sure they just were into,
yeah, of course. Yeah, it's Iowa, yeah.
There were a few that were into like rock, rock stuff. But they're the slutty girls, and that's right. Really couldn't get to
So
them
the
unless
rock
you were
ones,
like a
they were
bad
the
boy,
slutty ones. They were just like the
You had to be a bad boy to
the roadies or whatever,
I had a friend, that I grew up with, and we rode the bus together going there, and she was a rock girl. And, she was always telling me that the boys are always hitting me. I think, she liked the other side better.
Yeah.
She always dressed the part,
Wait, you said the other side, like, bro.
Well,
you're saying she liked girls.
She loved girls,
Okay.
I'm sure. She had a lot
Okay.
of good-looking girls.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. We don't judge you. We just say, yeah.
Never started with a guy, and that's what I never knew that or put two together until like after high school.
Your
Like,
gaydar didn't go off?
That's why Christy did.
Your gaydar never went off?
No, I didn't care. I was just a kid just trying to have
Did you
fun.
play in
There
any
you go, there you go.
bands throughout any of this?
I did. No, we didn't really play any gigs. Let's just say I wanted to start a band. I played with a lot of my friends. I played acoustic music. I got into the Grateful Dead in college. Pink Floyd was...
Wait.
Dude,
Grateful Dead.
Jane's
So,
Addiction was
hold
one
on,
of the...
hold on. Okay.
I know.
I want to go back to
So
Grateful
eclectic,
Dead.
I
So,
guess.
you just went completely...
I know, right?
You just went completely
Folk rock to, like,
OG
jam
on
rock.
me, bro. So,
This is how...
Grateful Dead, did you do any psychedelics while you actually listened to that?
How far is this podcast going to reach people? I'm not sure if I should be
We're
just...
worldwide.
We
We're
have
officially
listeners in
worldwide.
Australia and all sorts of stuff,
well,
so it's going to go all out.
Indonesia.
Let's just not say where I'm employed. Maybe they'll have to guess that later, okay?
No.
So
Oh
it's not a big
yeah.
deal.
We'll
Okay,
move
that's
on
right.
from
That's
that.
right. I forgot about that.
But
Yes,
that's
I'm
it's
sorry.
not a big deal. I'll be honest with you. You know
I
what?
always wanted to-
It's not like I do it now.
Just answer
yes,
the question.
Grateful Dead.
No. Answer the question offline because this is always a question of mine. If you ever were a Grateful Dead fan,
I was a deadhead for a little bit.
I always wanted to. I always wondered if you ever listened to a whole record of Grateful Dead while you were on LSD, MDMA, whatever psychedelics, because that's what Grateful Dead was all about.
Oh yeah.
So
well, that's what it was all
I
about.
would like to speak with someone out there that it's also a musician, that if you would like to tell your story about being in psychedelics while you're listening to Grateful Dead, I'm all ears.
I understand now what they meant about when they say psychedelic music.
Yes.
I understand that from the experience I had back then. Yes, you auditorily, you'll hear, especially with the Grateful Dead. Jerry just knew. He'd play all his songs, and then he'd have like an hour after that of just like this music that he would come up. It was improvised.
Exactly.
And that's what I loved about their music. It was more...
And apparently there was a whole effect to it
right,
when you were
never
on
played
those. Yes.
The song the
same way. Never.
Same way. Not once. And, we used to go and spend our money traveling during the summer and see a few shows. I actually got to see one of the last shows. Actually, I saw him the year before, and then after that, we made another trip out to Chicago and Illinois to go see him in a 2-day show or a weekend show. He ended up passing the night before. I think he OD'd.
Oh, damn.
Right. So I was there for the riots, for that craziness, and also on some mad shrooms back then. And we're having a great time. We're going to the show, got tickets, and I'm like, what the hell? And, we got there. It was barricaded, tons of security. I'm sure they have pictures of it. If people remember that, it was in Indianapolis. It was some Deer Creek, I believe it was, and the stadium was there. People were just trying to jump through the fence over just to get into the amphitheater just to hear him play.
That's crazy.
Because it was one of the last times he had played.
So did you listen to Uncle John's band?
What do you mean the Uncle John's band now, the cover band?
Yeah,
I listen to him from time to time. I like Mickey Rat. Excuse me. What's forget his name now. Who's got his own after the Dead? What's the Dead's? There is now a new
Fish.
band. There's Fish, but there's still the Dead. Some of the members of the Dead are still out there playing, and I forget. I wish I should just call it Greg Lore, because Greg Lore is into. I never realized Greg Lore, our friend, never was into the Dead. He took his dad to a Fish show. I'm like, I didn't know you were into
the Fish show,
Fish and Jam. Fish I was never really into. I bought a few albums from them. I love their style.
Yeah,
love their style. I've got their Bounce album and their dual set, and it's great. Their music is.
I thought
so
that's
fun.
how you name one of your dogs, Fish.
I
thought that was the reason why you named him that.
That's Jordan wanted to be able to say she walked her
stepdaughter.
Yeah.
My stepdaughter. She wanted to be able to say,
yet she
of
has
course
never
she
walked this dog since we have had the dog.
Go figure, right? Teenagers.
Hey, that's teenagers for you. Well, man, Phi, I want to say thank you very much. And before we leave, okay, I want to ask you one more question.
Sure thing.
Okay. And this is.
I'm not even sure if I answered any of the other questions. We went
no,
on
you did. You did. Everything's been great. And thank you so much for.
Thank you for
being here, for sure.
Over on your podcast. This is really a phenomenal things you're doing here. This is
thanks, man.
A great thing for the local musicians.
Oh, for sure. We're trying to get all you guys out there and as much as we can, and trying to bring as many listeners as we can, and try to get the music industry back to what it was.
And not even that, just the local area, bring everybody together.
Yeah, our towns, try to bring the community together and try to bring the positive messages, which, speaking of,
bring some fun.
Correct.
Our very last question is,
sure thing.
If you have someone out there that has the same kind of passions that you have and the same kind of drive that you have, especially in these hard times, what is a positive message that you could say to them? Something motivational that you can pass along.
From what I've learned, I think the best lesson is to persevere. Like myself, sometimes I can be hard on myself with just being music and talented, and you should just make it fun. And if you love to do it, just keep doing it, because eventually you're going to get to that point where you're satisfied. And I'm never satisfied with where I'm playing at. And I think with like guitar playing, it's the mastery is the fun part, because you're always trying to come up with better ways to do it. And we're not always the same. Fingers just don't work the same. And I'm getting older, so my fingers don't work the same. However, being able to play in certain ways, and there's many more ways of playing, like the guitar, strumming and hitting it in certain ways. So I'm learning how to strike the strings differently, because that's different. Most people like to strike the strings hard, and that's one way. All the cadence is always the same. But there's also now, for me, like playing flamenco, but with your pick, lightly, with fluidity and having a flow that sounds amazing, because you're adding extra syncopated sounds to it, not knowing how your style is. And I think for people out there is to experiment more and to enjoy being open to that. Forget the social media, forget the negativity. If someone tells you that, your sound's okay, you're never going to make it, screw them. And nowadays, it's great that you have all the accessibility to record and do what you love. And I think that's what people should do. Do what you love, make the music you love, and someone's going to like it, right? There's billions of people out there.
For sure.
So hopefully someone likes your music. And if you're just going to do it for the money, well, it's not about the money, because you're never going to make money in this music business unless you're just cutthroat and you're going to stomp on everybody else. So fuck that.
Exactly.
So in touching on what you just said, real quick for the last little thing, it wasn't too long ago that you actually got out there for the very first time in front of everybody.
Right.
And played a show, just you and your guitar.
Which was an eye-opening experience. And I can see how tough it is for most people that can do that by themselves, because you're by yourself.
Went out there, just like you said. You went out there and you didn't give a shit. And you were great. We came out there, we listened, we supported you. Like
awesome
you support
show. He
all
killed
of them.
It. He murdered
but
it.
You got up there not knowing what it was really going to entail, and you did it.
And we will see more of that.
And I'm hoping to get out there and play more. It's exciting to play. But more importantly, it's exciting to see your friends out there enjoying what you're enjoying.
Hell yeah.
I get a show 5 days a week.
Yeah!
Exactly.
But the best thing about you guys showing up at that point, it was so, it wasn't perfect, believe me, the first 2 sets. And my friends that honestly told me, like, a few times your voice was like, ugh. I'm like, and it's tough, because after singing for a while, your voice just kind of goes, not knowing that you need to refresh.
And a little bit of nervousness being out there.
Especially being by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You were, like I said, you were out there by yourself, just you and your guitar.
And I really didn't know to be honest, it's not my PA system, so I really couldn't understand it well enough to emphasize my voice in that, because it was tough. I couldn't hear myself, so I played from what I was taught. Like when you're up there performing, is to hopefully remember what you practice, and it's not about who's sucking at the sound system or who's sucking behind you. You have to just play through it and play your music. And I was taught that by my good friend Aaron Ferrer has said that many a times. It's something you just have to do.
Yeah,
as a musician,
you have to battle through no matter what.
Yeah, I've been performing, and I'm not an expert at it, but I like to do it. It's nerve-wracking. But to see you guys all do that, I appreciate that, because I know how hard it is.
Yeah,
people think,
sure.
he sucks. I love
let me
how
see
audience
you
people,
do
you
it.
suck. I'm like, well, yeah, get up here and you try this, my friend.
And I want to congratulate you for doing that.
Yeah,
because that day that we were told
that was fun.
on
The last set was so much fun. I enjoyed playing in front of you all.
And doing all of that. It took a lot out of you. And I know you were nervous to do it.
Yeah.
But You went up there, you did it, and it was great.
Yeah, I can't imagine if I had a full band, backing me up with great music and musicians and friends. And it's all about having friends, So we need that.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, thanks again for coming out, Kathy. Thank you so much for everything that you do on your day-to-day life as well. Thank you for these services.
Thank you.
Yep.
And what song are we going to listen to, brother?
Thank you, Danny and Melissa, for bringing us here. And I think I want to play, I guess I'll play, you want to play one song or two songs? Because I was going to try to do something, how you're saying how I was taught more improv. And I used to love just to take lyrics down and kind of have an idea, just to play it, just to see how it comes out by just reading it off the page.
I think that is the best way to
So
go.
Let's do that one.
I've got some lyrics I pulled out from a long time ago. I was looking through some stuff that I had written, and I'm like, well, this is kind of fitting for the time. Maybe I could do something with it. And I've got a little riff that I kind of was just playing with, and maybe it'll sound good. So we can try it out and we'll see how it sounds. Right? That's fun instead of just
absolutely.
having. But if you want me to play one of my other originals, I can do that. It's real nice and slow.
We'll try
I
the
think
new
an
one.
impromptu would be awesome.
All right.
So this is something new that we're actually going to be doing.
Yeah.
And,
a live ending.
We're going to have a live performance. So let's try it out. And here it is. But I want you to say it for our ending. I want you to say what song you're going to play if you have a name to the song.
Actually, it's a no-name song.
And, okay.
It's a...
and make sure that you say...
That you're listening
This is your boy
us.
Phi Vu, and you're listening to Social Banter Podcast. Go ahead.
All right, everybody, we're listening to the Social Banter Podcast. My name is Phi Vu, and I'm grateful to be here and appreciative to my friend Melissa and Danny Cruz, who are wonderful people. And this is wonderful that they bring this podcast to the local area to emphasize musicians, artists, whomever wants to plug their stuff. You've got to get in here, speak to these guys, because these guys, believe me, love the artistry and the creativity and just the community. So get in here.
Thank you, brother. Once
Salud.
again,
Salud.
salud.
Thank you
And
guys.
we'll
we
talk
love you.
offline. We'll love you guys. We'll see ya.
Bye-bye.
Oh, can you feel the fever catching flames? Causing our minds to blister, go insane. It's not a sickness, can't be cured by doctors' orders, or something that's mirrored, cause history repeats itself 4 times over, pages foretold. Yeah, and then of another era right in front of you it unfolds. Behold, the world untold, a fact that we should all know. So pick it up, get rave that shit. Do something, anything, my friend. Stop it, but you got to realize it all boils down to this. It's the peace, love, and harmony that's between us. So freak, freak. So freak this shit. So freak, freak. Freak this shit. Can you feel it? The fever catching flames, causing all minds to blister, go insane. It's not a sickness, can't be cured by doctor's orders, or something that's mirrored, cause history repeats itself 4 times over, its pages untold. The end of another era right in front of you it unfolds. Behold, the untold roll of fat. We all should know, step up and break that shit. Do something, man, anything to stop it. But realize, it all boils down to this. It's peace, love, and happiness, and harmony between you and us. Yes, so break the shit.